as the season unfolds, as we get inching nearer to the NFL fantasy season, we're starting to get an identity. We finally have a little bit of identity on this season, what it's going to be about, taking shape a little bit. This is like a football fan's springtime, the preseason. And once the season gets cooking, that's the summer, the heat. But right now it's the spring. Everything's starting to blossom. We're starting to see a little bit. And we got fantasy football and NFL starting to show itself a little more. And we're progressing. We're getting closer. Everybody's starting to feel it. We had our draft last night. Well, one of our drafts. I'm in 2 leagues. We have one league where we drafted last night, and the other league we're drafting right at the end, which is the best way to go. Either do it in the beginning or the end. This way you don't get stuck in between. But we had our draft last night. And before I get into that, we have one update on one of the wagers, one of the futures wagers I've been speaking about a lot. Pretty much just got in the bag last night. I said there was a bet last week, will Jameis Winston take the first snap for New Orleans? And I was screaming yes, and it was only minus 160. And he's really played great. I've seen everything that I thought I would see from him, that I kind of was already seeing, like emotional growth. Just, you can't add talent if you need it. But we've seen Jameis Winston throw for 5,000 yards in a gunslinging offense with Bruce Arians. You can definitely dial it down. And I think that being in New Orleans, being around Breeze for that year, I think it was good for Winston for his growth. And I feel like he's in the zone, so to speak, with the way he's playing in his life right now, where he's at with his career. I see him ascending. And I would not be surprised if he's one of the league's leaders in quarterbacks in the rankings later on in the year. Keep an eye on Jameis Winston now that it looks like the job is his. I went on the DraftKings before, and it's minus 500 today. So it's in the bag, basically, that bet, unless something catastrophic happens to him. But Jameis Winston will be the starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, that's for sure. So last night we had the crew. We had 10 guys in the basement, war room, man caving it out. Just the way it should be. I mean, online drafts are fun. We all like that. We were actually online doing it, but we were all together, and that's what made it a lot of fun. Top 10, I'm sure everybody wants to know who took what in the draft, because I've never been around 2 crews of guys drafting same year. No 2 groups draft the same. Every draft has its own personality and identity, just like a season, and that's what makes fantasy football so much fun. So last night in the league that I'm in, McCaffrey went number 1, Dalvin Cook number 2, Henry 3, Kamara 4, Elliott 5. Then I was up with number 6, and I went with my man Nick Chubb. And I'm a big Nick Chubb fan. For me, it was between him and Aaron Jones, or maybe Saquon, but I didn't pull the trigger on Saquon, so I went with Nick Chubb. I felt good about that. Then Tyreek Hill and Adams came off the board at 7 and 8. Now here's where the draft right away picks up and gets crazy. At number 9 in my 10-man league, Travis Kelce goes 9. Just think about this. Mahomes may not even be in his prime yet. Mahomes is 25 years old, coming off 3 seasons where, if you think about it, the only team to ever beat the Chiefs has been Tom Brady. I'm talking playoffs. Nobody else has beaten the Chiefs. 3 years ago, the Patriots won the Super Bowl. They beat the Chiefs in Mahomes' MVP season, and that's how Kansas City got knocked out. 2 years ago, Kansas City won the Super Bowl. Last year, they lost in the Super Bowl to Tom Brady. So nobody has touched KC or Mahomes as far as playoffs to the Super Bowl, unless it's been a team that Tom Brady has quarterback. So Travis Kelce went number 9, and he is expected to just pick up right where he left off, keep the Andy Reid train going. Kelce goes at 9. High respect. And then 10 and 11, the guy had the comeback. Number 10 pick also gets the 11. It goes like a snake. And that leads me to my Mahomes, what I was just saying. 10 and 11, Aaron Jones picked up his solid running back, and then he went Patrick Mahomes, because that kid might not even be in his prime. So then, number 9, who gets 12, he went with Saquon Barkley. Everybody tiptoed around Saquon Barkley. And it's funny, the guy who had the 9 and 12, he's a Giant fan. He loves Saquon. He picked Saquon Barkley his rookie season first. He had the number 1 pick in the draft. He's like, I'm taking him first. I'm like, no, you're not. He's like, yeah, I am. He took him first, and he had 2,000 all-purpose yards. So he was telling me, he's like, Saquon will never be there, but I'm going to take Kelsey anyway. First round, taking Kelsey. I'm like, really? Wow. So then we all kind of tiptoed around Saquon. Even Zeke went number 5 because he, came in great shape. It seems like it's going to be an up year for him. And my man, the Patty, Ryan Patterson, he got Travis Kelsey and he got his Saquon Barkley. When it came around to 12, Saquon was still there. Everybody's a little bit afraid of that knee, and Kelsey and Barkley was a good start. And then I'm just gonna tell you about my team because I went for it. I'm on the fun train. Olympic Jordan reporting. I went with Chubb. Then I took DK Metcalf. I'm like, who should I take on the comeback? Let me get that 6'6", 255-pound guy with like 2% body fat that runs a 4.3. Yeah, I'll take him. So I went with Nick Chubb. I went with DK Metcalf. I'm just going to give you I'm not going to go in order. I'm just going to give you my team. My running backs are Chubb, Hunt. I went with the all Cleveland backfield. Why not? You know what? I'm like, okay, Nick Chubb is my man. And then Kareem Hunt is a 1A talent type back. He's got super skills, and he's going to be up there with production. So why not just take everybody in the same backfield? And then I only have one bye. They all get knocked out the same week. They don't have a bye until week 12 or 13. So I got Cleveland's running backs, and I also got Ronald Jones, and Ronald Jones for Tampa Bay. Playoff Lenny's always a little dinged up, and Jones is actually the number 1 anyway, kind of. So I was happy with that, and then that's where I fell on my face. I don't know if this happened while we were drafting or if I just was snoozing on my information, but I have ATN. He's out for the year. So, guys, don't draft ATN for the Jags. So I'm going to have to do something to get another running back. But I got Chubb and Hunt and Ronald Jones, and I'm fine with that. Nice, simple, simplicity of character. I got my nice little backfield. Leave me alone. My quarterback, Stafford, this year he's going to the Rams. Everybody's saying he's going to be, the Rams are a Super Bowl contender. Well, I hope so, because I really contradicted myself this year. I spoke up against the Rams. I think they'll underperform, but I went with Stafford because as we were drafting, I needed a QB, and the guys who were left, he does have a big arm, and that should be a high-scoring offense. I didn't say they're going to win all the time. If you had Jameis Winston, the year he threw 30 interceptions, you had a top 5 fantasy quarterback, so it's fantasy. So even if they lose games, but I definitely see Stafford having yards. My receivers, I told you I got DK Metcalf, Cooper Kupp, and I got Juju and Antonio Brown and Slayton for the Giants. But I figured DK Metcalf is solid. I reached a little bit on Cooper Kupp, so says the draft. But Stafford's in town now. Isn't everybody supposed to get boosted up a little bit on the Rams? So I went with Cooper Kupp, and I like Cooper Kupp anyway, big Cooper Kupp fan. And then I took AB as my 3rd receiver, who last time he was there for a full season in the NFL was the best, along with Hopkins. So if Antonio Brown is healthy, like I hear he is in camp, everything's cohesive with Brady, and they're looking to actually be one unit going forward from game 1 this year, then Antonio Brown could quite easily double his projections. He could easily be a super duper receiver this year. So I'm rolling the dice that Antonio Brown is going to come in healthy, strong, and if Godwin or Evans gets nicked up or anything, you always got him, and even if they're all healthy, they can't double anybody. So I really like Antonio Brown to be productive, and he's the best at his cuts in and out. So red zone stuff, I can see touchdowns from him too. So DK Metcalf, Antonio Brown, Kupp, and then Juju, who he caught 97 balls last year, and I hated it. He had like 700 yards, and I spoke against him. But Juju was there very, very late. A lot of people must have been looking at my videos because Juju was there super late. And I was actually looking at a quarterback already because I didn't take one early, and I was going to take Aaron Rodgers, but I